And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. We're broadcasting live today at Black Coffee in Louisville, Kentucky, with a very special guest that's joining us. We have David Isaiah Hammond here. I want to talk to him not only about his journey in life, but also what led him to write the book you guys actually see on the Amazon Live side. I also want to welcome those who are tuning in on Facebook, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. If you guys have any questions for David, make sure you guys put those in the chat. We do have the chat open for you guys as well. Again, we're broadcasting live here from Louisville, Kentucky, part of a special program we're doing here, spotlighting some of Louisville's best. And the book that you guys see here is The Power That Changed Me. I'm going to talk to David not only about the writing of the book, but also the message and what he wants you to be able to take away from it. David, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
So I want to talk about this experience. Since we've been here at Black Coffee, someone was congratulating you on the book. What has it been like for you to see the response to it?
I mean, honestly, I never thought that I would be an author. It's but it keeps me humble. And I know it's all because of God that all this has happened.
So talk to us about the journey here, because I know you and I just have met briefly online before today, but you have been able to be very active in sharing your message. What made you want to be able to decide to share what had happened in your life and also what's helped you?
Yeah, well, what happened in my life was so profound.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I'm more of a laid back, a personal guy. I usually keep things to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But it got to a point where God was telling me, you can no longer keep this to yourself. It's time to share it. So that's what kind of driven me to take those next steps.
Yeah. So faith is a very big part of you. I noticed even I got the Kindle edition of the book. The print edition is right here. Our audience can be able to get it too. But I want to talk about that because faith is a very big part of your life. Could you have imagined, though, that you would be telling your own personal story and that story inspiring other people?
I never would have imagined it. I never would have thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it still blows my mind to this day.
Yeah. So for those who are just now finding out about the power that changed me, and again, like I said, they can go ahead and be able to click it here on Amazon to be able to get it for themselves. For those who are tuning in, hey, Manswell, good to be able to see you. Manswell says congratulations to you. He's joining us from the Georgia area. He says congratulations to you. For those who are just now finding out about the book, talk to us about the experience that happened, because again, the title is called The Power That Changed You. Talk to us about that power and what happened.
Yes, sir. We'll just go back a little bit. These days we're hearing a lot about our men, caught up in the street lifestyle, the drugs, the guns, the violence. And, everybody's glorifying that lifestyle. But at one point, I was one of those men caught up in that lifestyle. Started out early in my teenage years. Just started out, smoking weed and playing with guns and things. And then by the time I got to high school, I was selling weed out of my locker. And at that point, I already knew what I wanted to do with my life. Usually you got, when you're about to graduate high school, everyone's thinking about going to college or going to the army or getting a good job. But I had my mind made up. I wanted to hit the streets full time and make money, So a year after I graduated high school, I ended up getting caught, with drugs and guns in my possession. Because I went, full force out there on the streets after I graduated, So I ended up going to prison for a little bit. I got out, and I had the same mentality. I went back to the street life, to doing what I knew, selling drugs and guns. So a year after that, I got caught again for the same thing. So at that point, I kind of slowed down on the drug dealing, but then I just started hanging out a lot more and, starting to drink heavily, partying a lot, out here getting in fights and just making wrong decisions, doing things I never thought I would do. I remember my lawyer said, David, you need to calm down. Because if you get caught again, you're going to be facing at least 20 years.
Wow.
But probably more than that. I thought I got caught for doing the things I was doing. So like I said, I was out here partying a lot, fighting, involved with a bunch of women, just living crazy. And got to the point where I started doing armed robberies and home invasions, for money, and just wasn't valuing my life and just out of control. But until one night, I was at home in my bedroom by myself, and I heard the voice of God speak clearly to me. He said, follow God's will. And after that night, my life transformed. I was a brand new man. My heart had changed, my behavior changed, my mentality and my thoughts changed, and I was just brand new. And for a while, some of my friends noticed a change in me. Some of my family noticed a change. Like I said, I'm so personal and laid back, I was keeping it to myself.
Right.
But I knew what had happened to me, But then it got to the point where God was like, you can't keep this to yourself no longer. It's time to share it. So he busted up his courage, his new courage and this new strength inside of me that, start telling people about it. So then one day I was at work on the assembly line And all of a sudden, all these memories start being downloaded in my spirit. It's like a whole bunch of things that I used to do, and I'm like, where's this coming from? I don't do this stuff no more. It sounds like write it down. So I just started jotting notes down, not knowing what I'm doing, just doing what I'm hearing, writing it down. Then later on at night, as I'm looking over the notes, God is saying this is for a book. So I'm like, wow.
Wow.
So I had to sit down and discipline myself, and draw on God to let me know what to write.
Wow.
That was the book.
Yeah. And now you have a book available, David, that the world literally can be able to get. How does that feel to know that people literally around the world, here I was in Mississippi, was able to get it. People now around the world able to get it. How does that feel to have your message be basically in the hands of everybody?
I mean, it's awesome, but God gets all the glory for it. If it wasn't for Him, none of this would be happening. So I gotta stay humble, but it blows my mind.
I want to say for those who are just tuning in, I see you guys over there on YouTube as well. You all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents. If the location looks different, it's because we're not even in Mississippi anymore. We're in Louisville, Kentucky today. We're sitting there right now with David Isaiah Hammond. We're talking with him about his book, The Power That Changed Me. You guys can see it there. Also, for those tuning in on the Amazon Live side, you guys can be able to click on it, be able to purchase for yourself today, but also let you guys know how to stay connected with David as well. So, David, you mentioned something I wanted to go back to, because I think we all have had moments in our life where there's something we may have used to do. We don't do that anymore. And people, they notice that. They notice. What has it been like for you to see how your family and friends have noticed the change in you?
Well, it's amazing. They always, congratulate me and telling me they're proud of me. But they see it. They see the change. From dark to light. It's obvious, and they see it. It's all God.
Yeah. Do you feel like for yourself in particular now that especially the young people is a group that you want to make sure that you reach?
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of it. Because God done this profound thing in my life, and He's given me a desire. I believe He pulled me out to send me back in. For other men out of their lifestyle, especially the younger generation, because they're in best in need of it. Because I was once of them. So it's all about having to get back.
So talk to us about the work you're doing outside the book. So you wrote the book, The Power That Changed Me. You have that as your platform. What else have you been doing to be able to share the message?
Well, I've been doing different speaking engagements.
Okay.
I've been going to different churches and events, being able to speak and share my story. I've been able to be a vendor at a lot of events and things like that. So, and being able to just be out there in the marketplace and talk with people, praying with people, helping encourage people's faith. So we're also working on audio book. Get that out there as well.
Cool. So for our audience out there that may feel as though they have a story, David, what do you normally tell them about, because I'm sure people have said to you, how did you do this, right? What do you normally say to people about how they can be able to share their own story?
Well, like I mentioned on the subtitle, I said, if God did it for me, God would do it for you. And that's powerful, because God doesn't favor, man, it's available for anybody, there's blessings, there's miracles, there's healings, it's all available for everybody, So I encourage people that He did it for me, He can do it for y'all too, so.
Yeah, and it's a great reminder for all of us. Again, for those of you, and I see you guys over there on the Amazon Live side, if you guys have any questions or comments for David, make sure you guys do write those in the chat. I am checking those as we're going throughout our conversation. But again, David Isaiah Hammond is our guest. The Power That Changed Me is the book. You guys can see it there, but also on the Amazon side, you all again can just click on it there. If you guys are not joining us on Amazon, if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter, there's a link that's there that'll bring you over to Amazon so you can be able to get the book for yourself. So you mentioned, of course, the downloads, and I love the way you said that, David, because I think we all kind of have those flashbacks sometime of who we used to be or things that we've experienced. Do you still have those wow moments though in your life when you think about where you've come from?
Yeah, it's like every day, it's like I get flashbacks and I see, or I might be driving down the street and I see someone who could have been doing the same things I used to do. And then it's like, I just kind of think back, like, wow, thank you, God, for pulling me out of that.
Wow. Yeah. And I think too, for a lot of people, and you mentioned something really interesting, because unfortunately we live in a world where a lot of that lifestyle is glamorized.
Yeah.
That is the cool thing. That is the it thing. And if you're not doing that, then something's wrong with you.
Right.
You know, that's where we are now. Does that surprise you that it seems to have gotten, because we went through a period of that sometime, I think in the 90s, does it surprise you that that is a resurgence today of that same thing?
I mean, it's just like it's kind of repeating itself. It doesn't really surprise me. I mean, because like when I was younger doing it, and, it's only edible. I mean, it's only pretty much guaranteed that it's going to happen again and repeat it.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it doesn't really surprise me. It definitely needs to be changed.
Right, it does. And I think, books like this can definitely help, especially because it's written from someone who knows the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when people are trying to talk to individuals and they don't actually know that life, it's very hard sometimes for that message to get through. Do you think that is one thing that has been an advantage for you, that you are speaking from experience when you're telling them what to avoid?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they want to hear it from somebody who's going through at that moment, So I definitely believe that, you have more of an advantage to reach out to them.
Mm. So what is your hope then? Because, I mean, as you mentioned, you've been doing events. Of course, you've been able to share the message in person. You also, of course, because the book's on Amazon, you can reach people around the world. What do you want people out there to know about what you hope this book does for them?
Well, I'm hoping to plant a seed. I'm hoping to plant a seed and whoever's reading it, hopefully it can get in the hands of, people who's living that life that I used to live, Hopefully, they can read it and they can plant a seed in them and can, start helping to change some of that, maybe like help them to build their faith about God, where they draw on God themselves in a personal relationship and help change them. But also, like mothers or parents who read it, they can see that it's possible.
Yeah.
That, their child, their son, their nephew, whoever, can be changed. It's possible.
Yeah. So that's a good thing for us to talk about at the end with, David, because could you have imagined this would be the change that would happen in your life?
Never would have. I had my own plans, but my plans wasn't good. They was going to end in destruction.
Right.
So I never would have imagined. I wasn't looking that far. I was pretty much looking for the moment and just doing what I wanted to do. But my plans would have, ended in destruction. So I never would have imagined doing this right now.
Yeah. Well, so glad that you are, and I appreciate you being able to share your story the way you are. Again, everyone, David Isaiah Hammond is our guest. The book is The Power That Changed Me. Again, for those joining us on Amazon, you guys can be able to click on it there to be able to get your own copy of the book. Also, of course, for those who are tuning in on the other platforms, you guys can be able to click on that link that'll bring you over to Amazon to be able to get it. David, let them know how to stay connected with you.
You can stay connected with me on Facebook, author David Hammond. Or you can check out my YouTube video, which is author David Hammond. You can reach out to me through my email, authordavidhammond@gmail.com. The book is available on Amazon, paperback and Kindle format, or you can go to my website, authordavidhammond.com.
All right, David, man, congratulations to you again, man. Glad to be able to have you. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. We have more to come here from Louisville, Kentucky. We're here for one day during this season to be able to share some great conversations with you guys. So make sure you guys stay with us. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb saying thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Yeah, versus now, just go to the website.